Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It's the Weekend Roundup. So we've written a lot about Google Stadia as it approaches its first birthday next month, and how new competitors like Amazon Luna and xCloud, they're either drawing near, or xCloud, it's here. The future is now. Some of Stadia's most loyal fans have been expressing a lot of frustration about how the service still has a lack of promised features, not enough new games, and little communication from Google. Oh, and Stadia, not even functional on the newest Chromecast, so not great. And it's enough to make you wonder if Google is getting ready to pull the plug. Well, now we've gotten word from some Stadia personnel who say nope. They are in it for the long haul. So this comes from a couple of community managers. One, Grace Yang, a community manager for Stadia, posted in an official forum and addressed commenters who say that Stadia is headed for the infamous Google graveyard. That's referring to their many canceled initiative. Honestly, a very rational fear if you're a Stadia person. But Yang wrote, "My response to this is, please give the Stadia team time. It's been less than a year since we launched, and we have a lot in store for you all." I feel like people have given y'all time, Grace. I'm just saying. Another community manager, Chris Roberts, wrote that you can rest assured that Google is in it for the long haul. Then Roberts elaborated, saying, "We saw something special in cloud gaming, and we think we have the tools and knowledge to push this technology to the next level. It's okay to be unsure, the future is uncertain, but we care deeply about this space because we are gamers too, and we want Stadia to succeed." Sounds encouraging on the face of it, but then again, they're community managers. What else are they going to say? Yeah, we got about 3 months left before they pull the plug, so enjoy losing your games forever that you purchased. But he also admitted that the future is uncertain, which seems like a pretty clear indicator that all is not great at Stadia, and it's not. We haven't gotten official player numbers from them, but if you've ever tried to play a multiplayer game like Crucible mode in Destiny 2, you know that the player base is not very large on Stadia these days. To put it mildly, I use Stadia. When it works, the tech is kind of cool, but there's just not a lot to play on there still. One positive note, it was recently announced that Stadia players are going to get Cyberpunk 2077 the same day as it launches on console and PC. That's November 19th. Previously, they haven't said exactly when it was going to launch on Stadia, and it was previously reported that Cyberpunk would launch sometime later than PC and consoles. But hey, that's good news. And Stadia could definitely use more of that these days. All right, moving on. After 10 years, it looks like we've seen the last of new content for StarCraft II. Actually, they haven't put out an expansion in a while now, let's be honest. Blizzard said, though, recently that they are ending new content development for the real-time strategy game that came out way back in 2010. God, it's been 10 years, that's crazy. In a blog post, Blizzard Executive Director and Vice President Rob Bridenbecker said they're going to focus on, quote, season roles and necessary balance fixes now. He added, "We're going to continue supporting StarCraft II in the same manner as we have with our previous long-standing games such as Brood War, focusing primarily on what our core and competitive communities care about most." He said they're not going to be producing additional for-purchase content, stuff like commanders and war chests, but he said, "We will continue doing season roles and necessary balance fixes." He added that this change will free us up to think about what's next, not just with regard to StarCraft II, but for the StarCraft universe as a whole. Kind of an interesting way to phrase that. Maybe a new StarCraft game? I kind of doubt that, though. They haven't announced any projects at this point, and they've got a lot of other stuff in the works. I don't know. It's been weird. We've done some reporting in the past about how toxic the chat in StarCraft 2 has gotten. To me, it feels like, and I still play it, but it feels like they've kind of been ignoring it for years. And it turns out, yeah, they have been. It's official. So this next story, this is a bummer. The Japanese studio Level 5, which brought us Ni no Kuni and Professor Layton, has apparently ended operations in North America. Boo, that is a great studio. GamesIndustry.biz reported that the company's branch in North America started winding down operations the middle of last year, so it's been a while now. That included laying off most of their staff, never a good sign. One source said there were currently no plans for any more Level 5 games to be released outside of Japan. That really sucks because in addition to Ni no Kuni and Professor Layton, Level 5 also made 2 great Dragon Quest games. You knew I was going to talk about Dragon Quest 8 and 9. They also made Fantasy Life, that was awesome, and Yokai Watch. It's Yokai Watch, it's fine. But still, that's a pretty big loss. Sony, buy them. just buy it. It'll be a good investment. Just buy them. Bail them out of this. All right, remember Ghost Story Games, that studio that was started by Ken Levine, the creator of Bioshock? They've been pretty quiet, but now we've learned they're getting kind of close to finishing up their first game, so that's cool. We've learned in the past from job listings they've been working on an immersive sim with FPS and RPG elements. Well, thanks to another job ad, this one is for a senior producer. We know that the unannounced game is in later stages of production, so that's cool. The studio is small, according to the ad, less than 35 people. Sounds like they've been busy, though. You might remember that Levine closed Irrational Games. That was the studio, of course, behind Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite. Closed that back in 2014. Then he went on to form a studio that would become Ghost Story Games. As for the first game they're making, we don't know much about it, obviously. Levine has said it features something called narrative Legos, which will combine to create a player-driven, highly replayable game. So there you go. Rockstar Games has acquired a new studio. According to a site called The Gamer, they acquired the Crackdown 2 developer Riffian Games and rebranded the studio as Rockstar Dundee, which is presumably because they're based in Dundee, Scotland. Rockstar later confirmed that. Founder Sam Houser said the Riffian team are a talented addition to Rockstar's global studios, and we look forward to working together on future projects. Billy Thompson, who co-founded Riffian, said, "Not only do we have the opportunity to work on some of the most successful entertainment properties in the world, but Rockstar's investment in our studio is a great sign for the continued expansion of game development here in Scotland." And then he ran off to count all of that sweet, sweet Rockstar money. All right, time for a 5-second review. I really like this game. My cat, not so much. All right, let's get to the games coming out next week. First up, Amnesia Rebirth. Oh, it's a big one. A new descent into darkness from the creators of the iconic series. This is a harrowing journey through desolation and despair, exploring the limits of human resilience. Kind of sounds like the pandemic. We're living this right now. In Amnesia Rebirth, you are Tassi Trianon, waking up in the desert of Algeria. Days have passed. Where are you? Where have you been? What did you do? Where are the others? Retrace your journey, pull together the fragments of your shattered past. It's your only chance to survive the pitiless horror that threatens to devour you. It comes to PC and PS4 October 20th. Next up, Drone Swarm. Control a swarm of 32,000 drones in this strategy adventure that's set in space. Jump from system to system, battle powerful alien fleets, destroy enemy vessels, slam them into one another, block attacks, and outsmart defenses. I'm not good at outsmarting anything. It comes to PC October 20th. The Guise is a dark Metroidvania fairy tale about a boy trapped in the body of a monster. Ooh, that's scary. Can he hold on to his humanity? It's up to you. Remember in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, that little brain, Krang? That's what that reminds you of, in the body of this big muscle dude. You play as Ogden, an orphan whose curiosity got the better of him. After disobeying the headmistress of his orphanage and sneaking into a locked room, he gave in to temptation and tried on a cursed mask that transformed him into a monster. Oh no, you will have to get used to his new body, master monstrous abilities, and try not to lose the last remnants of your humanity. I'll bet he goes after the headmistress of that orphanage. Guaranteed, she's dead. Next up, Tenderfoot Tactics. A party of goblins granted magic by an ancient spirit wanders the archipelago, fighting back the terrible fog. Wield elemental power with wild percussions in this open-world tactics RPG. It comes to PC October 21st. Next up, Disc Room. Are you ready to get sliced in half? No, I'm not. I'm never ready for that. The year is 2089 and a giant disk has appeared in the orbit of Jupiter. Step into the oversized spacesuit of a brave scientist and explore this sprawling intergalactic slaughterhouse. Wow, that is a crazy string of words. It comes to PC and Switch October 22nd. Double Pug Switch is a tough side-scrolling platformer. You take control of a pug who can switch dimensions due to a catastrophe in a lab, an interdimensional pug. There you go. That would have been a better title. Run, jump, power up, and cry your way through several levels of doggy dimension goodness. Don't cry, pug. It's going to be okay. Dwarfheim is the next generation of co-op RTS games. Dwarfheim innovates the RTS genre with thrilling co-op and team gameplay that will appeal to fans of multiplayer games everywhere. Player roles are critical to the success of your clan. Choosing the right class can mean the difference between victory and defeat. gather resources, expand your city, and defeat the constant threat of feral trolls. Ultimately, you'll need to crush all your rival clans before you can reclaim Dwarfheim, ancestral home of the dwarves. It comes to PC October 22nd. Hello Puppets is a horror comedy adventure that turns your hand into a living, talking puppet named Scout. Years ago, a bad Sesame Street knockoff called Mortimer's Handymen was canceled and forgotten, but the puppets from the show have come to life. They're pure evil, and they have plans for you. Evil plans. Your only chance of escape is the somewhat less evil Scout. Work with Scout to find a way out of this freak show before it's too late. It comes to VR October 22nd. The Red Lantern is a story-driven roguelike survival game where you and your team of 5 sled dogs lost in the wilderness must navigate the ever-changing encounters of the Alaskan bush to find your way home. It comes to PC, Xbox One, and Switch October 22nd. Supermarket Shriek. Join man and goat in this chaotic award-winning couch co-op adventure, tackle outlandish obstacle courses, complete rewarding challenges, and dodge deadly obstacles in this hectic race to the checkout. It comes to PC, PS4, and Switch October 23rd. Last up, Transformers Battleground. With Earth under invasion and Megatron, leader of the Decepticons, close to capturing the Allspark, oh no, Bumblebee and the Autobots need a new commander to help them restore peace to the universe. Optimus Prime? No, you! Assemble your squad and roll out for a turn-based tactical war that will rage from Central City to Cybertron itself. You'll need, Shockwave was so cool. That was my favorite Decepticon. You'll need both strength and strategy to outwit the fiendish Decepticons. It comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch October 23rd. That's all the news I got for you this week, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.
Amir, give me an anonymous mask to start
the daily. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Monday.
Let's clap it up for Amazon, the latest tech giant to get into video games.
Just like Google, Amazon has been having a little bit of trouble breaking into the industry. They recently announced their cloud streaming service